Ladies and gentlemen, this is ProPokeNoob back today with something completely different. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PokéBattle. I said I would review this, so here we are reviewing it. Now, I do not claim to be a critic, nor do I claim to be, in the full rights of judging this entire thing by myself. I am just here to show you around this new simulator that hasn't been presented, and just to give you an idea of what you could be looking forward to if you are interested in trying this out. This was done with an interview on PokeAim's channel, also known as Joey, so if you want to go check that out, you can go find that yourself. I'm not going to link it. I've been playing around with this. It's pretty cool. I'm going to show you basically what's going on here, what the future is, my opinions of it, and whether or not you should even give it a try. Let's start off with the simulator. So, PokéBattle is not meant to be a competitor for Smogon or PO. It is just another battle. It's just another battle site that has a unique feature in its team building in particular that basically gives you a little bit of an interesting look on team building. So this is the basic simulator. It looks almost like Smogon in the sense that here you have your users. We don't have any rooms yet. It's just one simple room. The only things that you can currently play are 6th gen and 5th gen OU. And if you notice, Pokebank and Pokemon, there are no tiers, and that's what makes this interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, there's one clause here you might notice. It is a PBV limit. What the heck is that? Well, I'm about to lead you through it. Before you do that, this is pretty cool. Looks pretty simple, pretty nice, straightforward. You got your chat. It tells you when people join. That'll probably be removed once more people come in. But pretty much, here's the chat. People come in, say hello, stuff like that. Users, click on them. You can chat to them immediately. It looks almost like Facebook, which is, kind of neat and nice at the same time. Nice and simple. You don't have to click and say click on chat or whatever. That type of thing. Let's go to the team builder. Okay, so team builder, I'm going to tell you right now. Whew, quality of life, ladies and gentlemen. Everything on the front page. So let's just choose a Pokemon. This is the third time that I've recorded this because the first time I was not happy with my recording. And second time, what the heck does that mean? Was that shiny? Or is that male-female? It's probably going to be shiny. I didn't actually see that before. I don't know what that is. But first time I wasn't impressed with it. Second time it got erased because my recording software decided to be a pain in the nuts. So that's unfortunate. So, this is nice. Okay, so basically what you got here, you got all your stats, you got your things over here. EVs, IVs, natures, genders, moves right here. Wonderful stuff. Very convenient. Everything's on one page. Makes it wonderful. The thing that you must pay attention to in particular here, because everything else looks like a normal team builder here, is PBV. PBV stands for PokéBattle Values. Now, what the catch to this simulator is the team building was designed to combat a stale meta. And what that means is people were, when you play the top levels, like let's say you've gone really high up on the Smogon ladder or the PO ladder, and you just see pretty much similar teams. You'll either see a team that's an RMT, or you see the same 6 Pokemon all the time, same 4 to 6 Pokemon all the time, and people just play either those teams, or they play teams that counter those teams, and they play a team that maybe counters the counter. That's pretty much it. The idea of PBVs is to make team building more creative. Now, creative in a competitive way. Your limit is 1,000 PokéBattle values. Each Pokemon is worth a certain value. You build a team of 6, making it under 1,000 points or making it 1,000 points. If you can make it 1,000 points, impressive. Under 1,000, doesn't matter how low it is. It just matters on that. Now, as you'll notice, each Pokemon will be worth something different. The cool thing is I chose Aggron on purpose because he has a Mega Stone. And as you can see, it increases the value. Now, of course, this varies between different Pokemon. I'm going to show you right now. There's this Charizard. Why do I keep typing in Charizard? It's 3 times I've done that now. Starts off with 130 points, a little bit less actually than the Aggron. However, slap a Charizard X on it, ladies and gentlemen, is now worth 225 points. So even if you don't Mega Evolve it, it's still worth 225 points on your team because of the potential for it to Mega Evolve. And if you'd like to see the difference, here's Charizard Y, worth 215. Now, of course, this is based on their own weighted values, not mine. I'm not exactly sure if there's a committee that they talk about this, or if it's just the 2 co-founders that came up with those numbers by themselves. I'm sure they've done a good job at numbering these off, and I don't see problems with numbers or anything like that. So I trust that they're going to get these. I trust that they have these right, and I'll explain to you how they're going to modify them later. But for now, this is cool. This makes team building very interesting for people who do get bored of the same 5 to 6 Pokemon, 4 to 6 Pokemon, whatever. This does make teams very creative. I have not seen so far inflexible teams. This could also be attributed to the fact that there's a low number of players and people are just testing a whole bunch of Pokemon and their PokéBattle values and seeing their connections with one another. But I mean, you can, like, this makes it very interesting because it actually opens up people's eyes to the lower Pokemon in, like, that you would see in Smogon and PO in the RU tiers or the NU tiers. That type of thing. It's meant to mix it up and to get Pokemon going. I'm pretty sure this means shiny. This probably means shiny, it's just not implemented yet into the Pokedex, who knows. So that's the cool thing about this. Now, as far as I can tell, any other item does not add PokéBattle values, it's only the Mega Stones. So for the Mega Pokemon, we'll be dealing with that. So, you input your stats here, your hidden power, everything like that, remaining EVs. Wonderful stuff. The cool thing about this, like I said, is convenience. Everything is here. It's all on one page, whereas Smogon, the Showdown, you have to go 3 different pages, whatever. I don't understand that, but I mean, it's just the difference in simulators. It does keep it a little bit more organized, so if you're just looking for one particular thing, but at the same time, this is so organized, it's hard to argue against this. So this is pretty cool. So you just add your 6 Pokemon here. You can name them, I think it's here you name them? I forget how you name them. I'm trying to remember. Just put it here. I'm trying to remember how you name your Pokemon. I named them. I just forget how. Actually, no, I don't know if I named them. I had a team on my other computer here that I've been playing with at school, and it added up to 870 points. And I am using Floaty to Destroyer of Worlds, and might I tell you that Jumpluff is getting the jump on a lot of people. Because, again, people haven't seen these Pokemon, they don't see these Pokemon often, so they don't exactly know what they can do. They can assume of certain sets, but I mean, Swords Dance Acrobatics set is just not something that may pop up in people's minds all the time, and the fact that there is no flying gem, I just run no item. So, you know, like, why did this acrobatics do so much damage? Well, I'm running no item. You'll never know that, though, because you don't see Jumpluff often. Maybe you didn't know what they did in 5th gen. You know, they were either support or they were offensive. And, you know, it's fun that way. And I think that definitely makes people more aware of a potentially evolving meta here. This could definitely mean that a meta could be well developed based on these PokéBattle values. Now, of course, there are Pokemon such as some of the Ubers, who will be weighted at 1,001 points, meaning they cannot be used currently until they come up with an Ubers limit, if they're going to come up with an Ubers limit. However, if you look at Pokemon such as Darkrai, he actually can be used. 250 points. However, you must also consider this. Before you say, oh my god, why? Okay, consider this. They're making these teams based on PokéBattle values. If you're going to make these teams off of points, this is a quarter of your total points. Meaning you have to find 5 Pokemon within 750 points. That can become quite restrictive, especially if you're trying to use some of the stronger Pokemon. So if you had a Charizard X and a Darkrai on the same team, that's 475 points. And you still have 4 more Pokemon to go. That can severely limit the power of your team, especially if you have to go for Pokemon that are underrated. A simple example, if you don't have room for a Conkeldurr because of the Pokemon you're using, such as Darkrai, you'll have to settle for a Pangoro. And I'm pretty sure people who have looked at Pangoro know he's infinitely outclassed by probably 95% of the fighting types in all of Pokemon. So, maybe that's an exaggeration. 90% of all the fighting types in all of Pokemon. But anyways, that's the trick, right? Darkrai is allowed. I believe Genesect is allowed as well. I believe it's 200 or something like that. Yep, he's 200. I actually didn't check Thundurus, but he's 195. See, like, these types of things. And that's what makes this interesting. The fact that there's no bans other than the ones they put at 1,001 points. There's a lot of Pokemon that are in Ubers that are actually being tested here. I think Deoxys Attack is allowed. No, it's not. No. Attack form. Oh, it's not. Oh, I could have swore I saw it. Okay, defense is still allowed, 170. I remember that. And speed is still allowed. So the ones that weren't banned on Smogon, they're still allowed here. But look at the PokéBattle values, right? This is the thing, right? Some of these Pokemon you look and go, why are these things worth so low? Or why are these things worth so much? You know, why is this thing not allowed? You know, that type of thing. But it opens it up to new team building ideas. And so far, I've been having a blast playing people, and every time, because you meet up with people, there's not many people playing at once. So I think the open beta only goes 1,000 people at a time. So they're only adding 1,000 people onto the server at a time, up to I think 8,000, and then from there they're gonna do open beta. Sorry, right now it's closed beta. That I should let you know that right now. It's closed beta right now. To get in, follow their Twitter at PokéBattle or whatever it is. I don't follow. I literally do the following thing where I go to Twitter, just look up their thing. I don't click follow. I just literally follow it, you know, as the name suggests. So, yeah, save it. It is computer specific still. Not a big deal. So, that's the team builder. That's pretty cool. I didn't want to go that long on it, but it's cool. And I think that's the main feature you guys should be taking a look at. Weaknesses? Well, right now you can't organize. This is only by alphabetical. I like the PO team builder where you can click here to change the type, category, power, accuracy, and stuff like that. Descriptions will eventually go in. Don't complain about that right now. It is closed beta. Give them some slack, okay? But I will show you that this is made up in a different section. Battle list right now. If you go look at a battle, let's take a look at a battle right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the team battle. It looks spectacular for a closed beta. Nice background from 6th gen. Nice 6th gen animations here. Scale, perfect. You will find there's some glitches. So far I found that when I play, my Pokemon doesn't show up, but that's fine. That's not a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. It will be fixed, but this is very nicely organized. They are running the 5-minute rule that PO runs, which makes sense. Then you get refunded a little bit of time based on how much time you take to choose your move and stuff like that. Very simple log over here. Shows you actually who's in the room. So rather than just seeing, oh, this guy joined, this guy joined, this guy joined, now you can actually check it and go, oh, I want to talk to this guy privately and tell him, like, screw off or something like that. Or, hey, I want you to check out my channel, you know, post something like this. You do something like that, and then you leave the battle and hope to God someone checks it out. So, by the way, I've been doing that on Showdown and on this. Just been throwing my channel everywhere. Shameless advertising. I am sorry. It's fine. It's my thing. It's been my thing now. So, find a battle, team builder, stuff like that. So it's cool. It's cool. Pretty organized. Pretty well. You have forums, which are actually quite lively. Basically, you know, there's an introduce yourself. If you do join on this, feel free to contact me on this. Like, talk to me if I'm online. I'm usually online, I think, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays for about an hour or sometime in the afternoon around 1 o'clock or something of the sort. I might be switching between Showdown and PokéBattle now, just to try and get some content from Showdown, because for now, you cannot save logs on the simulator, but you can save text logs, notepad text logs, which is really disorganized. But I mean, if you're obsessed with getting better, which I'll explain to you that people might be on this thing, you can do that for now. Now, the main thing is this Pokedex. Let me tell you first of all that I am going to be just drooling all over this thing, and it's the third time me explaining it, and it's going to get better and better every time. Latest move setup, this has got to make you excited in itself. Just the fact here that we have updates for Pokemon of what's been added. So if you're a guy who has a team, guy or a girl that has a team, and you've been looking for a new Aerodactyl, look at that. There might be an update on Aerodactyl you need to know for your meta, and I will show you why. Let's go to Charizard again. Charizard! You can't sit on this, it's too hot. That was really bad. Okay, so, stats, stuff, picture, cool. Take a look at this. It's another Pokemon. Need an alternative to Charizard? Absolutely. Wow! Incredible. This is a great idea, right here. Okay, so, because you have values, right? You have PokéBattle values. Like I said, maybe you're running out of points on your team. You can't afford to use a Charizard X at 225 points. You need someone who's under 100. Or not under. Oh, jeez, you're under 100. But you need a Pokemon that's under 170. Well, look. He is a setup sweeper who's physical. Let's take a look at Emboar. Emboar's 135. I can run an Emboar. I don't want an Emboar? Okay, what does something similar to Emboar that could maybe go in the mind of Charizard? Flygon. Let's check it. 140? I can use that. That is spectacular. I think that's absolutely incredible. And it might seem like a very minor detail. It might seem like, oh, people know already, you know, if you want an alternative to Charizard. That doesn't matter. People coming on here and trying to just come up with a team quickly, this improves your efficiency so well. And this improves your knowledge of the meta greatly. Not even just the meta. It improves your knowledge of the Pokemon and the sets that they run. So let's say they don't know what that Jumpluff does. Maybe that set would be on here. I haven't actually looked it up. Let's take a look at it. Let's go find Jumpluff right now. Let's see what they have for it. I'll use that as an example. See, Jumpluff, nice and cheap. They underestimate it. Bad. See, Speedy Sun support. Awesome. That's all they have. They don't know about the. They don't know about that acrobatics no item set. So this is what you'll find. You'll find a whole bunch of movesets, some more for Pokemon than others. It all depends on their usage. I don't know who this is put. Looks like it's been put up by people who are on this site, and they are either approved by the co-founders or a committee or something like that, I assume. But as you can see, similar Pokemon, even here, it's giving you similar Pokemon, things that they suggest, and I think that's a great idea. You might find a Pokemon that's outclassed or outclassing the current Pokemon that you want to use, and it might be point efficient. That's the thing that you want as well. Point efficiency, you know, if you're point efficient, you might be able to replace some Pokemon with more efficient ones and fit them on the team. Now, another great thing here is watch out for and team up with section right here. This is what this set needs to watch out for. It needs to watch out for a Breloom, needs to watch out for a Rotom Cut, needs to watch out for a Sableye. But if you're going to use it anyways, you can pair it with a Charizard Y, you can pair it with a Ninetales. Ladies and gentlemen, this is, oh my goodness. I cannot get over how great of an idea, how greatly organized this is. I simply cannot get over that. Now, I'm just going back to Charizard here because just to show you a few more sets, right? So you have Charizard X, Y, X, Y. No normal ones because they're mega or bust, really, to be honest. But it shows you the ability, like it shows you basically what you want to do, and it explains the movesets. Now you're probably thinking, you know, Smogon.com does this as well. Yes, they do, and it's basically the same setup as Smogon, except this is done in pictures. And let me explain to you why. This simulator has been set up for the cream of the crop, the top of the top, the players who are here to play competitively to win. This is not a place for trolling, which is why I've come here to troll. Not troll, but this is where you'll find supposedly better players, right? The top of the players. Because this is ladder-based. This is not a whole bunch of event-based battling where you can do inverse battles and smoke on doubles and all these non-competitive tiers like Alphabet Mons or Season's Greetings battles. Like, that's not what this is for. This is for straight out, you're serious about battling, you're competitive, you want to ride the ladder, you want to get to the top of the ladder, knock everyone else off of it, jump on the roof, and claim yourself king. That's what the simulator is supposed to be for. It's a competitive simulator, which greatly explains this. You know, here's your Charizard. Watch out for people. If they're going to run a bulky attacker, they might run a Stunfisk or a Salamence. That might be a little bit more obvious, but, you know, that's what this is all about. So, because this place is offensive, oh my god, because this site is meant to be more competitive, that's why you just have pictures, because better players know, why does a Charizard Y have to watch out for Blissey? Well, special defensive. What about Latios? Pretty much walls the set. You know, that type of thing. Excuse me. And if you're wondering, you can always click on it. We'll switch you to the Pokemon, and you can check out the movesets. You can also check out to see what they will have to watch out for. So if you're trying to counterplay against this Pokemon, let's say Latias is causing half your team problems, well, click on Latias, see what it has to watch out for, put that Pokemon on your team, or work around that. It doesn't have to be that simple. It's not necessarily that cookie cutter, but it just gives you that idea that, you know, these actually don't switch this here, but it just gives you that idea that, you know, you do have these options, you have these resources, which are very well put together, and I think this is great. And I've actually been using PO Team Builder on the bus to build my teams, and then I transferred over to Showdown, and I've been using this Pokedex because this gives you great ideas. Like, I didn't even think of where is it? The one that I like here is the physically defensive one. This is cool. This is a cool set that I never thought about for Charizard X because it's already got the buff from Tough Claws, and it can be defensive because of its typing, kind of, right? It can kind of be defensive, and it tells you Genesect, Scizor, Mawile, and again, Genesect, who has left us in OU and Smogon, but not here. It's still available here, which means that these sets can be built for a different meta. That's cool. I like it, and it's great. This is very well put together. I am super impressed. They will eventually have a damage calculator and a reverse damage calculator, which should just be put into one, but whatever, and the media, just to explain themselves, but there's nothing here. You can put a picture, whatever. So, Here's the question. I'm going to go back to that page. I'm going to go back to that. Go back. Why? No. Close that. Close, yeah. Okay, over here. So, is this worth your trying? Absolutely. Is it great? Yes. Is it fun? Beautifully amazing fun. That was not a good sentence, but it's great. It's a great experience. I'm happy to be part of this closed beta because this is great. Like making teams with a point value, I thought at first I would not like because I don't like being restricted, and like tiers even make me kind of like, you can put restrictions on me, but like you're telling me this Pokemon can't go above you, are you sure? Or can't go below you, are you sure? I mean, it's nice that I'd like to test some stuff. And this doesn't restrict you. This only restricts you by points. So if you want to test a Darkrai, you can build a team with Darkrai on it as opposed to having to build an Uber's team, if that makes sense. So if you want to be competitive, you can be competitive. And you have to be smart with your team building at the same time because it's point-based, not tier-based. That's cool. I like that. Now, the way that this is going to work, it's on a 3-month system. Sorry, squeaky chair. 3-month system. The first 2 months, it's going to be laddering. People just go on the ladder, try and get to the top of the top, be the best, whatever. Ash Ketchum style. The 3rd month is going to be a tournament held for, I'm assuming, the top of the ladders. Or top of the ladder, so like all these people we brought in for a month, and this is the time when they'll be doing the tournaments as well as the meta analysis. So they will be updating these pretty frequently. The points values will be looked at, and basically what they'll be looking for is frequency of Pokemon, frequency of teams, and they're going to see if they need to modify points to make a Pokemon either more valued, less valued, or overvalued, meaning 1,001 points, right? So overall, it's a pretty good system. They're going to be doing it pretty rampantly. Hopefully they keep up with it. I'm pretty sure they'll have enough people to do it, or they'll do it themselves. It can't be overly stressful, especially right now. There's only 23 people on. I think the most I've seen on at one point is 55 during the day. But I'm sure there's lots of people who show up when I'm not on, so I can't do it based off my own sites. But that's the way it's going to be working. 2 months of laddering, 1 month of tournament analysis. The month after that, you start the 2 months of laddering again. So, the system itself sounds good, okay? It's not based off of just usage statistics and votes from the top, right? They're actually looking at the people playing at the top and getting their opinion of it, and at the same time not just looking at, oh, everyone's using a Politoed, let's consider that, right? They're not looking at that. They're looking at how people are constructing their teams, not using a Pokemon. So, are there problems with this that I have? A couple of problems. First thing is, this might turn a lot of people away because of the point value system, right? A lot of people might not like the 1,000 points, or might think that it's too high or too low, and the fact that Genesect, Darkrai, Thundurus, and these type of Pokemon kind of irk them about making teams to fight against those Pokemon that they think are not fun, or not fun to play against, it might deter them. Understandable, completely understandable. That also happens on Smogon, where people don't want to play Ubers because some of the Pokemon are just stupidly overpowered. That's what Ubers is for. At the same time, they don't want to play an NU because there's no good Pokemon, which is a dumb concept to think about because that's not the case. But people like to use only the strong Pokemon, so why would they touch NU, right? It's kind of the same thing here. Why would I touch a team that can only be 1,000 points when all the Pokemon that I like add up to 2,000 and whatever? That could be a thing. That could be possible. It's not a big deal, right? This is not built, again, to kick out Smogon or PO. This is just built to be another simulator to bring you a unique idea or unique concept about team building. And I think it's successful. The other thing is the tournaments. If I understand... Actually, let me see if I can find it. I found it somewhere here. Maybe if I just go back to the beginning. Excuse me. I remember... Yeah, they explain why they want to do it. Can you tell me more about the... Here we go. Okay, so the seasons... playing the season's championship tourney, see debate on the ladder ranking. So yeah, this part right here, about the ladder ranking. There's always this issue that I've had with the tournament setup with things like this, and I don't participate in many, but just from a normal person's point of view, not even a YouTuber, not an uploader, not a battler, not even a competitive guy, right? Just as a guy who might want to come in and say, hey, a tournament looks fun, let me try that, right? I'm not high up on the ladder, I don't get to participate. Maybe. I don't know how many people they're going to allow for the seeding, but if there's a restriction on the seeding because the tournaments might become too large, that might make a lot of people upset because, it can be upsetting, where you think or not you think, but you are a decent battler. It's just you don't ladder seriously, or you're just not that great at laddering. Like, you don't change up your team, and you just want to stick with a team that's worked for you at the lower part of the ladder, just not working at the higher part. You hit the middle part, and then, the middle part doesn't cut it to make it into the tournament. You want to enter the tournament with this unique team, and it might not be cutting it for you ranking-wise, right? And people would argue, well, that's the point of tournaments. Yes, I understand that. But I think it's because that's the point of tournaments that this might turn people away during that month. So, unless they're going to have multiple tournaments ran, where it'd be like the top of the ladder and then the bottom of the ladder can have like their own seeded tournaments, that would be cool. I think that'd be a great idea because that would give them more analysis, into the usage of the Pokemon. And you might find that, hey, even though no one is using Jumpluff in the top of the top, he is kind of stupid if you put him on a team, right? That's just assuming that he's found stupid. I think he's stupid, but whatever. But yeah, like these lesser-known Pokemon might still be considered for reworking in point value-wise because, hey, yeah, this thing is good. Maybe it needs to be more valued, or maybe it needs to be undervalued because it's not as good as we thought it was. So that's the cool thing about this. It opens it up to make everything be looked at the same time. All these Pokemon are going to pop out, and they're going to be like, whoa, we have to look at more than just a usage stats with a top 20 over 4%. We got to move it on. Am I bashing Smogon? Absolutely not. Do I think their system is flawed? No. Every system has a weakness to it. This one is going to be based off of frequency, and it's going to be very difficult to analyze every 3 months, which doesn't make it for much of a meta, which might throw a lot of people off as well. If you want to be good at a meta, unfortunately, it sounds like this meta is not going to be very stable, per se. It might be stable in some aspects, but overall, the play, I think it's only going to be stable in play, not in team building, which is cool. I think that's good for me as a player, because I like to be flexible, I like to see a whole bunch of new stuff, so I'll like that. Other people might not. You have the Pokemon people playing in Gen 1 who have, are used to a meta that's not changing, and they become so good at that game, at that Gen 1 play, that changing it would just decimate them, right? Same thing as the 4th Gen, 5th Gen meta, every other Gen meta, right? 3rd Gen meta especially, because a lot of people got into that one, I know that much, right? If you change it all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, I got really good at this, don't change it now, right? Like, I know what I'm doing. So, change is good every once in a while, but once it's already done, you leave it and you get good at it then, right? Or you can get good at it at the time like this, right? And every 3 months might make some people who like stability in their meta, might make them a little deterrent on this. Or it might make them just play in their old ways and you might have complaints, who knows. But anyways, so that's the way that's going to work. That's the main thing, though. I mean, otherwise, this sounds like a great system. Again, it's closed beta, so if you guys want to get in on it, I'm not sure if they're still taking... I don't think they're taking people anymore. But you can always try. Follow their Twitter, ask them questions, whatever. Inquire. You can ask me any questions. If you want me to check stuff for you on PokéBattle, leave it in the comments section, of course. I always check my comments and stuff like that, so I see if you guys say anything, and I respond appropriately. But yeah, this is a great experience. I highly recommend it if you like battling, and if you are a very serious battler and you're getting bored of Showdown or getting bored of PO and their ladders and you might find it too easy, then I would come here because this is where we're expecting the bigger and better players to show up. Now, is that going to hinder the lesser players to show up? No, they can't do that, right? Like, if I can play and I'm only decent, like I keep I keep undermining myself. I'm a good player. I am a good player. I'm a decent team builder, decent pushing it towards the bottom half of decent, but I'm a good player, right? I'm not looking to ladder though. I'm not looking to hit the top of the ladder and call myself Pro Master Noob, right? I'm not looking to do that. So, like, I'm going to play on this because I'm going to have fun with the team building, right? I'm going to have fun with the system, not necessarily be that competitive ladderer. But for the people who want to be competitive and be fully on the ladder idea, here you go. Here you go. There's your system. There's your simulator. PokéBattle, available sometime in the rare future. Oh my goodness, I can't talk. For beans. Relax, calm down, take a breath. Okay, PokéBattle. Awesome stuff. Even if you don't use the simulator, use the Pokédex. Greatness. Absolute greatness. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope this doesn't get erased, and I will see you next time. Until then, have an excellent day, and peace.